Howdy, folks. Welcome back. This is Cameron, and today we're going to talk about the number one nutrient that most women need, don't get enough of, are missing if they want to lose weight. You're probably going to be surprised. Most women are. But after this video, hopefully you'll understand the magnitude of what this means for fat loss and overall general health. So, what is the number one nutrient that women need? Before I answer that, I want to share with you that in the event you don't know who I am and what I do, I am Cameron, and I am a weight loss and health coach for women of all sorts, shapes, sizes. And what I do is I help you steal your body back. And I have a variety of coaching options for everyone out there. And people say, well, how much is it? It's like, well, I can't answer that because I don't know what you need. Nothing I do is canned. Everything is written from scratch. After you and I discuss what your needs are, where you've gotten derailed, and how I can help you, then I build your program from scratch. And it includes all of the above or one of the above. It can include supplementation. It can include diet, nutrition, exercise, and overall health coaching, which also includes a deep dive into lab work to see what other practitioners have left out, left behind, or have not uncovered. And then we figure out what the hell is going on and how you can steal your body back. So reach out to me and let's get rolling. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the number one reason that women need. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? You need protein. Increased protein. 99% of the women that watch this video, if not 100%, will need to increase their protein intake, especially for fat loss. When women tell me they want to lose weight and they've invested previously in a diet plan or a workout plan, they of course want to know, and it's a legitimate question. What can they do to get the most out of their plan? Well, again, after a few Q&As back and forth, the single most common issue they share is this. Not that they share with me, but that what I determine is the common denominator in their previous issues as to why they can't lose weight. And that's it. Their protein intake is low. I mean, I don't mean just like shy, 10, 20, 30 grams. I mean like way too low. And here's an example. Several years ago, I had this, I think she was maybe 30 something year old contact me about, what she want to do? It's been so long, but she wanted a weight training plan, and she had, air quotes, done it all. And she had counted macros. She had done fat burner pills. She had done gadgets. She had done, her brother's, aunts, best friends, neighbors, dead uncles plan. And she was an absolute, just her approach to everything was an absolute soup sandwich. It was just all messed up. So here was her typical food intake. Breakfast was a bowl of cereal and a low sugar glass of orange juice. Lunch was a banana, a few crackers, and I think she had a can of tomato soup or something crazy like that. Her snack was a piece of fruit, and her dinner was a lean cuisine. Does any of that sound familiar to you? Of course it does. So on average, her entire, what I just read to you was, give or take, what she would consume on a day for her entitled meals combined intake. Her entire protein intake for all of those meals was about 20 to 30 grams. 20 to 30 for the entire day. What she needed, oh gosh, I got to pop up here, sorry. What she needed was about 20 to 30 grams per meal. Yes, per meal. I mean, not only is her overall calorie count just beyond too low, but she was, you're going to fall over when I tell you this, but she was 5'9", weighed 120 pounds, and wanted to lose weight. Yes, I know. And are you ready for this? Her goal weight was 106 pounds. I said, what were you at your best? 106 pounds. I mean, this gal needed so much help in so many different areas. I just started with basic nutrition and used research like I'm going to do with you here to back it up. And guys, gals, the protein, this is for guys too. It is the absolute number one thing that has to be in place when you're dieting for fat loss. And here are the top 5 reasons why. So, of the 3 macronutrients, and macros meaning protein, carbs, and fat, micronutrients, completely different story, vitamins, minerals, things of that nature. Of the 3 macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fat, protein makes you the most satisfied when you eat, meaning you feel the fullest. So, what does that do? Well, if you've ever been on a diet, you've been hungry, right? And it freaking sucks. Who likes being hungry? Protein makes you feel full. And if this study isn't alone enough to speak volumes to what I'm sharing with you, why you need protein, I don't know what is. Increase your protein, you feel full, you don't have the cravings. All right, so number 2, protein offers cardioprotective benefits and it increases your metabolism. So, in simpler terms, the higher your protein intake, the higher your metabolism, higher metabolism, higher protein, higher protein, higher metabolism. This means you're burning more calories if your metabolism is higher. What does that mean? That means the less body fat that you're going to have. The same study also showed that your blood pressure goes down. So that in and of itself is a cardioprotective benefit. So not only does it help you increasing your protein intake helps you to lose body fat, but it also helps your heart to stay healthy longer. Hello, why wouldn't we do this? All right, so number 3, this study says that protein helps you burn fat even when you're sleeping. All right, so what is this? Let's just break this down. In a nutshell, this is basic nutrition 101. Calories in versus calories out. This acronym is CIVCO, calories in v calories out, CIVCO, CIVCO. This is just basic weight loss. You say weight loss, I say fat loss. This is just, but we'll just call it what it is. You're losing weight. So as you know, weight loss is nothing more when all of the other bullshit is gone out of the way. Calories in versus calories eat. You eat less, you lose. You eat more, you gain. Simple as that. So if your metabolism is increasing, you're burning more calories. And the study proves that increasing protein helps you burn more calories. Protein helps you burn more calories while you're sleeping. So why wouldn't we increase our protein intake, right? All right, number 4 study. Number 4, here's a study. Low protein intake increases fat mass. You know, this study doesn't even really need an explanation, which just means essentially the lower your protein, the more at risk you are for gaining weight. Simple as that. So if you're not doing anything, if you're not eating right, if you're not exercising or doing some sort of intentional movement, if you increase your protein, you could increase your lean body mass, which means your fat goes down. Conversely is also true, which is the study. The lower your protein, the more at risk you are for weight gain. Simple. If you're not doing anything else, you're eating low protein, you're probably going to be heavier than you should. And I don't know if you know this term, but it's called skinny fat. Have you ever seen people? This is like my example of my client several years back. What did I say? She was 130 pounds, I think, and she wanted to be 106. She was skinny, and she was 5'9". Skinny, skinny, skinny. And she wanted to be 106. She was skinny fat. This is how she had an almost undetectable amount of protein in her diet, but yet she kept wanting to lose weight because she was skinny fat. She had no muscle mass. She had fat in the place of muscle. This is why skinny people look skinny, but they have a higher fat mass, body fat percentages than people who aren't skinny fat. Just blow it again, it just blows me away. All right, so number 5. Here's a study that shows protein preserves lean body mass. Lean toned muscle is another name for that. Protein preserves lean body mass, improves glucose tolerance, and controls appetite. So what does that mean? The higher protein intake, the more lean toned muscle you have, the less fat you have. So all of these studies, guys and gals, they're kind of connected, but they just simply mean you need to increase your protein intake if you want to lose fat. All right. So the next finding in this same study indicates that glucose tolerance is improved. And what does that mean? All right. So glucose intolerance, how does that start? You eat something sugary or processed, and your body's like, oh, that's really good. I crave that. So I'm going to eat more. So that's because your blood sugar is kind of doing this. And then you eat more, and then it's kind of doing this. Then you eat more, so it's kind of doing this. And you're all over the charts as far as your blood sugar goes. And then that kind of throws you into this metabolic imbalance, which, if you've ever heard of metabolic syndrome, that's a precursor to diabetes. Your blood sugar is all over the place and it can't regulate properly the foods that you eat. So you have this glucose intolerance, then a metabolic imbalance that leads to further cravings, which lead to potentially diabetes. What this study is saying, if you increase your protein intake, you're less likely to have food cravings, which is going to stop this craziness because your blood sugar is better stabilized with a high protein intake. It also indicates that there were zero side effects to the kidneys with a high protein intake. How many times have you heard over the course of lifetime, mostly with bodybuilders, but nevertheless, I've heard so many women say, oh, Cameron, I don't want to increase my protein intake because it hurts my kidneys. Bullshit. Not true. Doesn't happen. If that were the freaking case, I would be on dialysis right now 24/7. Not going to happen. I mean, sure, if you're already in a compromised state, your kidneys are in a compromised state, there could potentially be some concerns. But if you're a relatively healthy person with no underlying comorbidities and you don't have any, like I said, pre-existing conditions with kidneys or, clearing fluids, this is not going to be a problem for you. Increase your protein intake, your appetite's going to be controlled. You're going to stave off all of that glucose intolerant stuff, which leads to metabolic imbalance, which leads to diabetes, which hopefully prevents the the blood pressure swings. Your blood sugar is going to be controlled. You're not going to have the cravings, and you are less likely to become a diabetic, which has all of these other comorbidities underneath it because you're a diabetic. If you're not a diabetic, you don't have all this other crap to worry about. And the same over here. If you have all this other crap going on, you're likely to become a diabetic. Everything is interwoven. So this is so important, guys. And I'm gonna try to word this carefully because I don't want people to send me emails saying, you said I could get off my insulin. Well, I'm saying you might be able to. I've seen it happen a lot. Let me just say that if your blood sugar is controlled, you'll be less likely to become a diabetic. And I'm not saying if you are an uncontrolled diabetic and you increase your protein intake, that your diabetes is going to resolve. I am saying it's certainly possible because I've seen it happen many, many, many times. Gosh, I've been in this business, I don't even know, 30 something years. I've seen people get off insulin simply by increasing their intentional movement and increasing their protein intake. Why does that happen? I just explained it. In a nutshell, your cravings are reduced and you're not playing Russian roulette with your metabolism. It's really important because if you understand the magnitude of this, you really could be taking your health in your own hands if you kind of feel at the mercy of big pharma. Small changes over the course of time, all of these videos that I do, guys, they add up to really big changes at the end of the day that could save you a trip to the ER, or worse, a trip to a nursing home. Uh, all right, the last thing I want to share with you is this, and I'm sure you're asking me what's the dose for protein? How much should I be eating? How much should I be drinking? What kind of protein? I don't really care what kind of protein. There are certain kinds that aren't, uh, they don't have the complete amino acid profile, which is kind of why I stick to whey protein. It has that complete amino acid profile. But if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, excuse me, you may need to supplement with certain other nutrients, and that's another video. But let's just say, for all intents and purposes of this video, whey protein or chicken or fish or ground beef or turkey, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, which is right here, they recommend 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And there's a 0.2 and a 0.6 in there. And that can be a significant range, because that's a half a gram per pound of body weight, which can turn out to be quite a bit. It can turn out to be 20 or 30 grams of protein. But forget the 0.2 and forget the 0.6. Just for easy math, let's just go 1 gram per pound of body weight. Well, how much is that? If you're 150 pounds, you need 150 grams of protein. Simple as that. And I can hear you all right now. Oh my God, I can't eat that much protein. Well, you can. You might have to work up to it, but you would also be surprised at how many sources of protein out there, probably in your fridge, that you don't even realize are sources of protein, excuse me, that you can use to increase your amount to whatever. If you're 130 pounds, then 130 grams of protein, or if you're 100 pounds or whatever. But if that's something, excuse me, that you feel like you can't do in a day or in a week, work up to it. It's fine. Just make that your goal. Whey protein shakes mixed with water if you don't want the extra calories, or almond milk if you want a little bit of calories, or whole milk if you need a lot of calories. Or, you can do tuna in the packs. You can do cottage cheese. There's just the protein sources there are so many choices. You will never, ever go hungry. All right, guys, there you have it. There's 5 reasons to increase your protein intake if you want to lose fat, predominantly lose fat. But guys, being healthy too, you need to increase your protein intake. And that again, that's a whole nother video that has to do with immune system. But this is specifically referring to 5 reasons women need protein for fat loss. So please take this to heart. If you have any questions, as always, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to answer anything I can. And I think that's all I've got for you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon.